up, folks? Joe here at Reverb. Today we are playing around with the Walrus Audio Vanguard dual phase. This thing is totally awesome, and it's called the dual phase because there are actually two phasers at play here. We have a phaser on the top row, and the signal goes through that phaser. That's a classic 10-stage phaser. And then that signal gets passed through the bottom row of controls, which is the second phaser. A lot of capacity with this thing. You can have it chime in nice and subtly, or you can get things pretty out there and wobbly too. Let's check it out. Okay, so on the top row here, first of all, we have dry mix and wet mix on both sides here. And then in the middle, these three controls here control the top phaser, and then these three control the bottom phaser. On top, we've got rate, depth, and regeneration. And then on bottom, we have the rate and depth, and then we have a tweak knob. The functionality of this tweak knob changes depending on what voicing you have set in this toggle right here. So this toggle allows for 3 separate voicings of the bottom phaser. In the top position, you have a 10-stage phaser, and the tweak knob controls the regeneration of that phase. If you have it in the middle position, you have a 4-stage phaser, and the tweak knob controls a pitch option, like a detuning. Very cool there, we're going to get into that. And then if you have it in the bottom position, then you have a 6-stage phaser, and this has a filter feature as well. So the tweak knob then controls the filter. Okay, on the top we've got our input. We have stereo outs, which we will hear. At first we're just going to hear the mono out, but then we're going to bring in the stereo effect. We have a input for expression pedal, which is very cool. The way that you set this expression pedal is you have the heel all the way down, and then you dial in a minimal setting, and then you push the toe down, and then you dial in your maximum setting. And then we also have a remote input as well. Let's dive in. I've got a G&L Tele here going through a Supro Royal Reverb. Here's my clean tone. So for right now, I'm only using the top phaser. As you can see, the level on the bottom phaser is down, so it is not engaged. Let's bring that rate up a little bit, still just using the top phaser. Bring the depth up a bit as well. This dry mix knob is pretty cool too. You can take a lot of your dry mix out and just kind of capitalize on more of that phaser sound. Okay, let's check out the stereo function. So now we have the Royal Reverb, and we also have a Supro Trem Reverb going on the left side as well. Still just using the top phaser, trying to get a nice wide phase here. So as we start to blend in the second phaser, some awesome things start to happen, especially if they're set at different rates and there's this kind of inconsistent wobble and there's kind of a little bit of chaos going on. So I'm bringing in my second phaser now on the top toggle, which is a 10-stage phaser. Bring the rate up a little bit, depth, and the tweak knob is controlling regeneration of that second phase. Okay, let's switch voicings on the bottom phaser to the second position. So now we have 4-stage phaser on the bottom, and the tweak knob controls a pitch function. So it kind of detunes it, and I'm going to just crank that all the way up. It gets pretty cool. So we are going through the top phaser right now, and then into the bottom phaser with a pitch function. So that's definitely one of my favorite functions on this pedal, just altering that pitch a little bit, making certain lines sound a little bit more interesting. Definitely a unique color there. Also, important to mention that you can save up to 3 presets on this pedal. Okay, I've taken the top phaser out of the picture and just working with the bottom phaser, and I've switched the toggle down to the bottom setting, which is a 6-stage phase with a filter feature. So I've got pretty much everything right about noon, and this is really great. This filter function is really great for kind of funky stuff. Now, if we take that tweak knob all the way up, and again, this is expanding the filter. Let's bring in a little more depth here too. This is kind of almost gonna act like a cocked wah or something. It just gives you a little more control over how throaty you kind of want it to be. Also flipped up to neck pickup for this one. Okay, I've got both phasers activated right now, the bottom setting on the bottom phaser, and everything kind of right up the middle on the bottom. Okay, there's the Vanguard dual phaser from Walrus Audio. Such a great company, such great guys. Colt and the guys at Walrus are always developing sweet stuff. We are so thankful for those guys letting us use this stuff, letting us demo these products. We're always excited for the next one. So keep watching for more Walrus Audio stuff. You can find it all on reverb.com. One more thing we got to do is bring the band in and play some Tame Impala. So let's do that. Thanks so much for watching.